game injuries. Huff will be doubtful. D. Winters is questionable, and McCaffrey's out.
Go ahead.
Does Christian need any kind of procedure or anything of that nature?
No procedure.
You said earlier in the week, IR is still not an issue.
It's something we're considering now. Yeah, yesterday was his worst day. It's on and off, but with it yesterday having the most pain, it's something we're going to be discussing here in the next 24 hours.
What's your comfort level right now with the backs behind Jordan, with Garendo and Taylor?
Good. Taylor had real good OTAs and training camp with us. Had a little setback when he did have an injury, but came back and finished strong there that last week, that last preseason game. Garendo, he missed so much time, but then when he got those 2 games, he was rolling. He looked good in those games, looked the same way in practice. So, it's different to be down to your 3rd guy already. But we never really looked at Elijah or JP as 2 or 3s. I think those guys are capable of being 1s, as Elijah's shown in the past, and so is JP. For the 2 new guys, when their op comes, I believe they're ready.
Would you like to start working them a little bit? Like, if Christian does miss more time, would you not want to have Debo get 8 carries every week?
Each week's different. Depends. A lot of things tie into that. But yeah, each week's different.
J.T. O'Sullivan in his quarterback school this week said he went through Brock's film of week 1 and said that, in his opinion, from watching the whole league, no one gets through their reads and progressions quite as fast as Brock. Would you agree with that? You've worked with a lot of quarterbacks over the years.
Yeah, he does a real good. That's one of his biggest strengths. I didn't study all the quarterbacks this week. I was mainly doing the Minnesota defense, but there's a lot of good ones. But Brock's up there with the top guys in terms of going through progression, how fast he does it. He doesn't miss many of the open reads, and doesn't skip many people. And throughout a lot of games, he gets to number 3, 4, and sometimes 5 in a progression.
You obviously played many difficult environments. How distinctive is the challenge in Minnesota with crowd noise? And all
it's right there at the top. It's one of the hardest places to hear. Their old stadium was, their new stadium is. I don't know which one's worse. But yeah, last year on Monday night it was tough. Hopefully earlier game isn't quite as bad, but it's always a challenge there.
Brock obviously seems very poised. How much does that poise matter in a situation like this?
It's huge. With all the cadences, all the motions that we do, a lot of these motions, you never would have thought to do those on the road a number of years ago. But it becomes such a big part of your offense. That's stuff we have to really work at, and Brock's done a hell of a job with that. Right when he got in 2 years ago, it was a big challenge at him. He's worked at it hard, and he's been very efficient in it.
I know a week or so ago you said that with Ricky Pearsall that he's instructed not to work up a sweat for the first week. What's he able to do now?
I was just talking to him yesterday. He just started working out again. I think it was a weight room workout yesterday. But yeah, he's back to conditioning, getting back in football shape, and getting back to healthy.
How do you guys just approach it from here with him?
Just day by day. I think it surprisingly heals a lot faster than you would think. You rip, when you tear your chest and stuff, you're out for the year, but that's a bullet hole that goes through your chest and out the back for some reason heals a lot faster. So it's, you learn a lot about that stuff, but yeah, we're expecting him, it's week to week, so I don't really know when, but he's traveling with us today, and it's been a good step this week, getting him back in the workout weight room.
Yeah, obviously a struggle with his assailant. Did the shoulder, was that affected at all in that?
No, he never mentioned that.
Kyle, this defense had a great first game against the Giants. They shut down Jones pretty much. What do they look like on film? Do they present any unique challenges? Yeah,
they're one of the most unique defenses in the league. They blitz by far more than anyone. I know it's in the 80%. No one runs zero as much as they do. It's really a scheme that you used to see at times more back in the day, but you don't see it as much anymore. A lot of credit to Flo, how he does it. It takes a while to kind of dissect and kind of understand what they're doing. And usually people who blitz that much, you like to think it's feast or famine, and they're going to, keep both teams in the game by doing things. But it's crazy to say they're to blitz 80% of the time. For me to still kind of describe them as a bend but don't break defense. They don't give up explosives. I think they were number 1 in the league last year at least amount of explosives. They kind of make you work for everything, and they put you under duress for every single play for the whole game.
What does it mean to get Yutar Gross-Matos back? You expect him to kind of just fit in initially into the role that you expected him?
Yeah, we expect him to get there into the rotation, with our 4 defensive ends. Excited to get him out there. He had a hell of a camp. He had a good preseason. He's had these last 2 weeks rehabbing really hard and had a real good practice yesterday, and excited to see him play here on Sunday.
Isaac Garendo missed a few weeks of training camp. Where is he in his development? I mean, would you be comfortable giving him a big role as a running back if it came to that?
Yeah, definitely. That's what we were nervous about him at first because he missed so much time, and that's why he played so much in the preseason. He missed so much practice time, and his first time with pads on was that preseason game because we didn't have pads on the week that I forget why. But I remember him going. I remember asking him in the team meeting after the game, when was the last time he had pads on? And he told me it was a Senior Bowl. So he was way behind in that stuff, but got a lot in the games and didn't look overwhelmed. Seemed like the game wasn't too big for him even in that moment. And he's been exactly like that ever since.
Mooney was obviously very productive the first game here outside on grass. How much more of a weapon does he become inside on turf?
More of a weapon. I don't know if you can do better than 6 of 6. If we do 7 of 7, I'm glad we're making them all, but I hope we score more touchdowns if that's the case. Oh yeah, when you're in the dome, you always get a little bit more. They always tell me before the game exactly what yard line that he's hitting in warm-up, so I know the biggest distance I can go for. When we're in our stadium, usually one way is going to be a different yard line than the other. I've been in some domes where special teams coaches have seriously came up to me and said, hey, it's the 40 going this way and the 38 going that way, and I'm like, is it windy in here? And I've literally had guys tell me the air conditioning is different. So I wait to see what they say, and that usually goes off warm-ups.